Hey crafty cuties, welcome back to my channel. Sorry there was no video last week. It was my spring break and I was doing a lot of work. And this week, despite the yarn in the background, I'm gonna not actually be doing a crochet video because I, quite frankly, don't really know what to make at this point. I don't have anything that I'm just like inspired for, but I do have this other thing that I've been wanting to do for a long time, and that is a little painting. I think we've all probably seen those like 4-panel or multi-panel paintings that are kind of like split up. So I wanted to do my own, and I got these little canvases from Michael's. These were like $2. I think I also saw some at Walmart for cheaper, but they didn't have like the wood, and I thought it would look nicer with a bit of wood and like the sides. But if you don't care that there's no wood, then obviously go for the cheaper option. I had planned to do this painting and I bought these canvases like last October. Like I have not, I've been putting it off. I have just not been doing it, which is, it's so weird because it's something I want to do, and yet I still just don't find the time for it and I just don't do it. Part of it is because I am not the best painter. I'm not very confident in my painting abilities, but I do want to do this painting, so we're gonna try it out and see how it goes. It's a painting of some lemons because lemons are my favorite. I drink lemonade every single day, and I just wanted a piece to decorate my dorm because, as you can see in the background, I don't really have anything put up. Okay, so here's my setup. You can kind of see my sketch. It's pretty light. It's basically this big lemon here, and these little circles in the backgrounds are going to be lemon slices, and everything that's negative space, I'm going to color pink, like pink lemonade. I think when you paint, you're supposed to work from the background forward. So I'm going to start with the pink and move forward, and I'm going to do one canvas at a time so that I can make everything fit in frame nicer. I typically stick to colored pencil or digital art. So this is out of my comfort zone, and I don't expect it to look amazing, but here we go, we're starting. But yeah, I never liked painting, which is like, well then why are you doing this? It's mostly because I think canvases are cute, especially tiny ones. I never painted when I wasn't explicitly told to in art classes. I specifically took drawing classes so I could avoid painting. I think I was pretty much able to avoid painting throughout the entirety of high school, and then I get to college to the graphic design program and I'm like, cool, it's gonna be like all computers. I've taught myself that and I'm pretty good at it. And no, the first thing I want you to do is be able to paint perfect, precise, clean shapes with gouache, a really finicky water-based paint. So I'm better with a brush than I used to be because I had to be, but painting's still not my go-to. I know all I've done on my channel up to this point has been crochet based, but I have always said I will provide crochet and DIY based content, and this is the first time I'm actually making DIY based content. To an extent, I guess it's more just art content, but if you guys are only interested in crochet videos, that's fine. If you guys are interested in all art content and you want to see this paint, that's great. In case anyone's wondering, like, why am I so obsessed with lemons to an extent? Like, I made that lemon beanie before, and now I'm doing this lemon painting, and I've said probably on multiple occasions that I drink a glass of lemonade every day. Well, for starters, I've always enjoyed lemons because they're yellow, and yellow is one of my favorite colors, and they're sour, and sour has always been one of my favorite flavors. Like, when I was a kid, I always loved sour candy. But when I was 16, I had kidney stones, which is crazy if you guys know anything about kidney stones. You usually only get them like when you're pretty old, so the fact that I was 16 and I got kidney stones is pretty wild. And one thing the doctor said was citric acid will help you not get kidney stones because the citric acid will help prevent kidney stone formation. So I started drinking lemonade. He said a glass of lemonade every day will help reduce the likelihood of kidney stones. And so pretty much since then, I've had a glass of lemonade every single day. But not since I was 16, since I was 18, because when I was 18, I had kidney stones for a second time. I don't think my edge there is where it's supposed to be, but that's okay, because like I said, this is just the background. I think it's still a bit splotchy, but it's definitely a lot more covered. Well, maybe it's just the lighting, because when I hold it up, no, I can still see some streaks. I'm using a different brush for every color because I don't want to get up and wash brushes. And also I use toothpicks to mix my colors because I feel like when I mix them with the paintbrush, then there's a chance that I'm gonna get some unmixed paint and it'll ruin like the flat color. I think you can see here, that's a leaf, and there's a really thin, really light pencil line in the bottom right as well to identify where I want to incorporate some shading. And that's mostly just because I didn't want this canvas to be entirely yellow. So it's still going to be entirely yellow, but it's going to have some differentiation. As I said earlier, last week was my spring break, and I did spend pretty much all my time working on some of my art projects for my portfolio review. Because last time I went up for portfolio review, I did not get into the graphic design program, and this time I really want to get in. I don't really expect myself to, but considering I didn't get in the first time, and I just don't really want to get my hopes up. But I'm making my projects better, and I think at least if I don't get in, I know I will have put my best foot forward, which I probably didn't do last time. The pith of lemons, I think that's what it's called, the white part that's super bitter that you don't eat, is like white, but I don't want to leave it white, and I think this like just slightly yellowed white will look pretty good here. Now I actually have to focus on getting clean lines, and I say that as I just make a completely messy line. Isn't that lovely? I don't have to worry about getting it clean on the inside of the circle though, which is why I said I want to put this color down first. See, that was a nice line. Too bad it doesn't matter because I've already messed it up over there. I was thinking of maybe putting some gold on this piece. I'm not sure where. Maybe as like an outline or something. I just really like using gold. So that reminds me, one time in an art class, it was during a critique online, a Zoom one, so we showed our pictures of our things, and I had been doing digital work, and she had commented about my color palette and how she didn't really love the colors together. And I had said I agreed the yellow was supposed to be gold, but it doesn't quite work when you do it digitally because you don't get the shine. And she had said, well, why don't you make it physically and use like gold leaf? And first of all, I don't even have gold leaf. I wouldn't even know how to use it. But also, isn't gold leaf super expensive to like ask your college student to buy and use gold leaf? Like, no thanks, I would rather just change up my color palette. I do want to use this darker yellow for these little nubbins in the back, just so we can differentiate them. This brush is a bit big for this area here. We're gonna try our best to fill it in. This is not a very good idea. I'm gonna use a different brush. Do I know how to use these brushes well? No. But I know you should use them for small areas. I think. That's what I'm doing anyway. And then I left this back here also, so I could put a bit of a darker yellow here, just so you could tell the difference. You know, one thing I see on the lemons that I'm looking at is that these all have a very thin yellow that's as dark as this on the outside. So I might try to put a tiny outline. One thing I remember is if you want a straight line, you paint from your wrist and not your fingers. I think that looks okay. Like, it definitely is splotchy and rough, but it looks okay, right? I was with my friends when I bought these canvases, and one of them was like, I doubt you'll ever actually paint on those. And you know what? He was right for a while, but look at me now. Look at me now painting on them. I never set out to make a perfect painting, but I guess I do wish I was a bit better at it. I just like to be good at things. I don't know if that's a hot take, but when it comes to art, I always want to be able to make the picture I see in my mind come to life. I'm kind of worried about this darker part of the leaf because I want to get like a nice clean line between them, but it's gotta like read across every part, you know? Like the leaf goes across, the leaf's actually present in all four parts of the painting, so like the line that I make from this dark part has to kind of line up between all the three parts that the line goes between. Luckily on the fourth part it's just a little bit. I should have put a towel down or something so these things didn't make so much noise when I move them around. But now I know for next time I make, what is this called? A quadric? Because I know a 3-piece painting is called a triptych, and a 2-piece is a diptych. So would this be a quadric, or would it be like a quiptych? Quiptych sounds fun. Now this is why I kept this other one here, so I could put them against each other and see how the line lines up. So far, it seems quite off. I think this needs to go a bit more like so. See the little tip of this leaf right here? That's gonna be rough. I might need to bust out one of those tiny little brushes to do that. Moment of truth, let's see. Can I do it? Whew, I was holding my breath that whole time. I just looked over at the mirror and noticed that I had yellow paint in the corner of my eye. You know, like the part right next to your nose. That's a bit close for comfort. I don't know how it got there. Like, I guess I have paint all over my fingers. As I show my completely clean fingers, it's all over these fingers though, as you can probably see. One thing I was thinking about when I drew the sketch for the 4 of these canvases is I wanted each one to kind of be able to stand on its own as like a neat little composition. And I think this one might be my favorite of those, the standalone ones. Either this one here or this one, probably. Of course, I think I don't love this area of negative space here. It seems kind of boring and unengaged, but they're not meant to be viewed as individuals most of the time anyway. I just thought it'd be nice if I could hang the 4 together and they would look cohesive, or I could hang the 4 more separated and they would still be good on their own. I went ahead and filled in all these little lemons, and now I'm gonna try to make the little sections. So based on what I can see, every lemon kind of looks like it has 10 segments, I guess is what you could call it, inside them. So the first thing I'm gonna do is find the middle and make a little dot. How do you guys do super thin lines like this? Is there any thinner brushes that I don't know about? That was the part I was most worried about, is these little lemon segments right here. Okay, round 2 segmenting. This one's gonna be a bit bigger. Maybe I should have started with this one instead of the tiniest one, but you know, you live, you learn. And probably a bit heavy with these brush strokes, honestly. Could be a bit thinner. But boom, second lemon. That one looks pretty decent, I think. One thing about the slices of lemon that I'm seeing is they have a lot of like texture in them that I'm not sure how I'm gonna be able to get. I'm just gonna take a bit of this darker yellow and just kind of stipple it in some places, just to kind of create a bit of texture. Okay, so the edges are done, all my paintbrushes are cleaned, and I finished just barely in time to go to bed on time. Unfortunately, I don't actually have any pins to hang this up. I was gonna put safety pins on the wall and hang them up like that, but I don't have any, so I'm just gonna try to hold it up and show you. Yeah. Oh shoot. Wait. There we go. Ta-da! Isn't that cute? I am pretty happy with the way it turned out. I think the lemon slice on the top right square should have been moved down a bit because I think it's too in line with the one on the top left square. But that's just a little nitpicky graphic design thing that I should have caught earlier. But considering this is a drawing that I did months ago, I didn't really give it a second thought. I just kind of started painting over top of it, but I should have moved it down a bit. I think I probably put it there because it works better as a composition when you look at the top right square on its own, but I'm not sure. When I hang this, I'll probably put about a half an inch between each section because I think that's kind of how these things look when you hang them, and it makes them look cool, and you can kind of see the negative space in between them, and it makes it like a nice little effect. So hopefully I'll get some pins and be able to show you what I want it to look like when I actually hang it up. And also, like, you could just hang like these two up, and that would also be really fun. I also never sign my work because I don't even have a signature, wouldn't even know how to do it. But that's gonna be it for this week's video, you guys. Thank you for watching. Let me know if you enjoyed this kind of content, or if you just want me to go back to crochet, because that's cool too. I just really want to get this painting done, and honestly, I'm happy that it's finished. And next week, I'll be back with some more crochet content, so make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next week with more crochet and DIY based content.